One more time for Peggy. Although it's kind of awkward for me because she had sued me for not sexually harassing her. That's a callback. Actually, it was when I was walking around here and had two different people say, "Please don't pick on me." I think you were one of them, right? So just curious, get to know the crowd. Do you get nervous going to comedy? No, really. Because no matter how long you've been doing it, comedians get a little bit nervous, just part of the process, but often the crowd is nervous. Like the first thing they'll say when they come in is, "Don't sit me in the front." So they just give these two tables a hand, but they make fun of them. Yeah. No, I won't, but it is funny since both sides are a little nervous. Reminds me like the very first time you have sex. Let me explain, it's not so weird. See, the thing is, I'm originally from Pakistan. Thank you for that one on the spot. But if you know that culture, sexually they're very suppressed. It's taboo to talk about sex. So, like the first time a Pakistani man had sex, like I admit, I was trying to act macho, but I was nervous. And then the goat. Nervous. I'm kidding, that goat was not nervous, I've been around. Now that's what comedians do. We play with stereotypes, but for the record, Pakistani men do not have sex with goats. Sheep, honey, get out. That's bad. Give you an idea, my opener is a bestiality joke, so you might want to strap on. Let's see, do try to read a crowd. Are we glad that marijuana's legal? Yeah! Okay. Who the hell yeah? Real? Okay. Although it's funny, in the run-up to the election, all the pundits were saying that, they legalized it, people start smoking weed. If you're like me, everyone I knew that wanted to smoke weed had been smoking weed. Right? To me, that's like if the Catholic Church made a big dramatic announcement, it's no longer a sin to masturbate. So would you be at home thinking, now I can start? I mean, that horse had left the barn. That chick has been choked. That monkey's going to get an idea. Even me growing up, my father would threaten me. He's like, "Khurum, if you masturbate, you will go blind." I'm like, "Dad, I'm over here." Dad had gone blind. I'll do hack jokes with an Indian accent. Well, let's see. I'm going to engage with the crowd. Now we have marijuana's legal. We're taxing it. And then all the sports gambling, you see all these ads for the apps and stuff, that's legal. So see what you think here. But I say that the next vice that we legalize and tax is prostitution. Who's with me on that? Okay. I think it's just be me and Bob Kraft from New England. But I think they'll have to do like they did with marijuana, right? Where you legalize it incrementally. So first you get your foot in the door. So first you'd have to legalize prostitution for medicinal purposes. So it would have to be for sex addicts. But they're trying to wean you off an addict so you get a prescription for bad sex. And since it's bad sex, the two bills could be the spokespersons, Bill Clinton and Bill Cosby. I said bad sex, I'm running inside the box. But the good thing is you could tax it, and since it's bad sex, all the women from Columbus, Ohio could get a job. We're in Michigan, you can't make fun of Ohio State. It is funny though, people are so sensitive, so woke, red states, blue states, everybody gets offended. But I think like in a democracy, the main thing is that you get involved, right? So regardless who you voted for, make some noise if in the last election you voted and got an I voted sticker. See, I'm still wearing mine. I did not even vote. I just wear this so it looks like I'm a U.S. citizen. You might get that here. Actually thinking of going to the border and selling these before they pay that wall. I'm like, who needs one? Anybody need one? no Hispanics look at Jews there. They got more Hispanics than the Tigers do. Only one vote. Actually, you'd be glad to know I am a U.S. citizen, but as mentioned, I was born in Pakistan. Was 7 years old when we first ever come to America. The only thing I knew about America was how rich it was. So I imagined it'd be golden streets everywhere, rubies. We landed in Detroit. In 1968, right after riots. I'm like, they done a bait and switch on my ass. 18 hours on an airplane out in Afghanistan. And you can imagine now when I travel, they thoroughly search me. It's a point now if I'm going to fly anywhere, only thing over the airport is a thong. And I'm cocky about it. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, look for my weapon of mass destruction. They just wave me through though. They're like, you ain't hurting anyone with that. And they like to remind me that saying, once you've had a pack, you probably go back. Bothered me so much. I was on the internet though. They have this pump, makes your private area bigger. You don't want to know it. It's a guaranteed to add 3 inches. I'm thinking, ooh, I can double my manhood. Or that's a math joke. I knew that might not work. Although after a show guy came up to me and said he found something that really, really works for the Bible. Let's see, what else is there? Well, one thing is people in Pakistan, people assume I'm a Muslim because it's an Islamic state, but they're very strict. They pray like 5 times a day. I don't even know how to pray like that. Tim Tebow is more Muslim than me. Only prayer I know by heart is, God, I hope that test is negative. 5 times a day. But as I say, people are so divided these days, don't get political, but would you agree with me that Melania was a different kind of first lady?
Oh, I love her.
Yeah, but I mean, she's a little different, right? Like, usually first ladies take on a cause. What did Melania take on?
Everything.
Actually, cyberbullying, right?
Yes, bullying.
Yeah, cyberbullying. Well, Donald Trump, little bit of a cyberbullier, you can be that? To me, that's like if Jeffrey Dahmer's wife wants to go vegan.
Yes.
He's a cannibal. They do try to defend her, though. They say, well, Melania, she traveled all over the country visiting young kids. I remember shit, Jared from Subway did that. I'm not endorsing this. This is what Jared did. Attack the messenger. I had already seen we're politically divided, but would you agree, like, whatever your politics, could have been a little fun to see Bill Clinton as the First Lady? So we said First Lady's man. Although remember that was getting ugly too in the run-up to the election. They brought up Monica Lewinsky and that whole scandal. And then Monica did that TED Talk where she tried to make herself a victim. That's hard to swallow. And she wrote that book, but the critics were saying it sucks. The book's not very good either. It was alright for no cigar. Good way to blow 20 old. I gotta use these up, they're gonna be obsolete. Speaking about obsolete, how about Anthony Weiner, huh? What a dick. Like showing it off. And then you saw Casey Anthony's back in the news. I know we dislike her, but when that trial was going on, Hustler Magazine said they'd give her $500,000 to post nude. So she filed for bankruptcy, so they reiterated. So just curious, you lovely ladies here. Would you pose nude for $500,000?
No. $500,000?
Taking a bid here. How about $50? I just got to return some borrows. They're actually going to do a movie about Casey Anthony. If you want, you can go online and say which actor should play her, and announce the winner. So we try to cheat. But speaking of all these books and movies, you love the ladies see that 50 Shades of Grey? Yep. Although even that was a little bit controversial because these movie studios like to play it safe, so the original lead female role was going to go to Betty White. That could have been interesting. And see what else. You see all these road rages going on the highway? Follow the news at all? No? Okay. And then on I-96 several years ago, there was a guy shooting their cars. You remember that? Okay, yeah. I remember when they were looking for him, they didn't know what was motivating him. Was he mentally ill or what? But if you recall when they arrested him, they said he was very well educated. And then they said he went to Michigan State. I'm like, well, what do we got, state fans here? I'm from Ann Arbor. You got safe hands for the safe hands. Oh, don't worry, I'll talk real slow. You beat us in the big football game. Well, we always say in Ann Arbor, we say, how many state Spartans does it take to change a light bulb? Actually, it only takes one, but they get 3 credit hours for it. All right, you guys are all riled up, but I think that sports is all overblown. I'll test you guys with this. It was like almost 20 years ago. We had the wardrobe malfunction. Some people know it as Nipplegate. Who's the celebrity showed her nipple? Oh, very good, Jen. Okay. Who's the celebrity snatched her top? Okay. What were the 2 teams that played football? Anybody? Patriots, that's a good guess. New England. It was actually New England against Carolina. That's when Tom Brady went to U of M, started dating all those models. You remember that Brazilian model? That's the only model I ever had sex with. I had to put them together. And it was an airplane. Hey, I was young in a cockpit. All right, wasn't that young? Didn't know these jokes would fly. I'm just winging it. Well, what else in the news? The RSA Supreme Court's gotten more conservative with Trump's appointments and stuff. You remember a few years ago that already ruled that cake decorator did not have to make a cake for a gay couple. Do you remember that? Yeah. Were you like me when I saw that story though? I'm thinking, is there any more gay profession than cake decorator? I mean, what did this guy do for his chosen profession? He squeezed cream into a bun. That's got to be the plot of every gay porno movie. I'm guessing, guys, is that the plot? Let's see what else. So they are saying the Supreme Court is so conservative. If same-sex marriage went back to them, it could get overturned. So I do my surveys. Here, are we okay with same-sex marriage? Yeah. Or we'll make some noise if you're married. Who's married? Yeah. All right, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't marriage all about the same sex? Night after night. I endorse different sex marriage, so I am divorced. Let's see what else is it. Okay. I wonder why. See what else. We'll have a few things. Anybody for the new, try that vodka diet? Well, those that don't know what you do, you have vodka for breakfast, vodka for lunch, and then vodka for dinner. Yeah, I've been on that for a week. I've already lost 3 days. Let's see what else is interesting. Well, you remember not too long ago there was that white woman that was acting like she's black? Oh, yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Taylor Swift? Ziggity zag. But don't you see like a great crowd when we had the COVID lockdown? Every comedian couldn't get on stage, so we're working on our act. So I developed a new bit that I do with a partner, but he's not eligible to be vaccinated. So if you're okay, I'm going to put a mask on, just be super safe, introduce you to my partner, and do a new bit for you. Is that okay? Thank you.
Let's go.
All right. Give it up for Iona the ostrich. And give it up for Khurum. He's trying ventriloquism. Admit it, you cannot see his lips move. So how are you, Iona? Oh, I'm just glad I'm not working for Helen DeGeneres anymore. Oh, really? Yeah, she was mean to her staff. I remember hearing about that. But the current staff saying she's a lot better. She's on this new medication for depressed lesbians. Really? Yeah, it's called Tricox again. Not only going to be Jennings here. Well, that's my topical stuff I like to play around with. But the truth of the matter, this really is true. Before I did comedy for 25 years, I was a Ann Arbor police officer. As if for Pakistan, so whatever you think, my chances are I've got to be the only Pakistani police officer who stand-up comedy in New Baltimore who looks like Johnny Mathis. Young people have to Google him. But it's funny, when I first started the Animal Police Department, it was 35 years ago. I was retired back then. The department was not very diverse. It was almost all white department, handful of black officers, and then me. I think still more diversity than here. But so to me, it was always funny when a citizen had a complaint against me, they didn't get my name, Sergeant could still instantly figure it out because he'd ask the citizen. He'd be like, "Well, can you describe this officer?" I said, "Oh yeah, it was that Puerto Rican guy." Because I'll be over Pakistanis, right? Which isn't necessarily good for me. People learn from Pakistan, they'll dislike me because Bin Laden was there. I got something to do with that. But some of us, we do like our firefighters and police, right? You all know that. So to me, just weird. Hate me for being Pakistani, but then love me for being a police officer. But it's really weird. Get the complete opposite reaction at my Al-Qaeda meeting. It's Camille, you know I'm kidding. I don't go to Al-Qaeda meetings. We chat online. Almost edited that one. And actually, before they changed the law, often wouldn't even mention I've been a police officer. It seemed like half the crowd just smoked weed. I know you did. Who else wanted to do it? It's legal. But it never was a big deal in Ann Arbor, right?
Right.
Remember what the fine used to be?
$5.
Oh, in the 60s. But remember they had the hash bash? And when I was there, two things, the fine was $25. What's funny there, though, if you had cigarettes, possession of tobacco for someone under age 18 was a $100 fine. So literally, we look at these teenagers with cigarettes, but they're pleading with us, it's marijuana. So just to say $75, I'll do the math up for Pakistan. And a lot of people don't realize, sir, you might want to know this, the breathalyzer will detect if you're smoking marijuana.
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay. Yes, you are. Well, for the rest of it, the way we can tell is if we give you the mouthpiece and you go, thank you, officer. Pretty good clue, you've been smoking some weed. And then, of course, anytime you take enforcement action, people always think it's because of their race or ethnicity. It's like right before I retired, pulled over this gentleman before I could get his license and registration. He started screaming at me that the only reason I'm stopping is because he's Mexican. It was so unfair. He wouldn't listen. It's honest goodness truth. I had no idea he was Mexican. Only reason I stopped him, I thought he was black. It's comedy. You can laugh, but that is not the only reason. He was with a skinny white woman. You know I'm kidding. It's comedy. She wasn't skinny. Thank you for some of you laughing. Actually, when I first started doing comedy, I'd be scared to do that. I didn't want to offend anyone. But I think we're too politically correct, don't you? Yeah, I gotta have fun. It wasn't easy when I started. I'm not sure how the veteran officers did it, but they rewired my siren. So I'd go to pull somebody over instead of usual police siren sound. It would go. 52 weeks to learn to do that. I think it comes natural. It does not. I have to go to Dearborn. Some of you have been to Dearborn. Well, let's be honest. When I see an attractive woman, like many of the women here, I'll use the stereotypes in my favor. Tell them I'm a doctor. It's the other stereotype, right? Although that's weird. You have the stereotype we're professionals, doctors. Then you have the opposite that we're terrorists. So what I do, I combine the two. Tell them I'm a proctologist. Certain AEs of the terrorists. So what else is there? Some things. Well, one thing is the use of tasers. A lot of people don't know, but the use of tasers will cause an instantaneous erection. Well, not the people we taser, but us officers. We love tasering. That excites us. One guy tasered for over 4 hours. Then before that Seattle commercial, I could see a doctor. And another thing we'll do is if we pull somebody over, they give us any kind of lip or attitude, we'll give them 2 tickets to the Lions game. I'd say the little sports followers. Are we Pistons fans at all? They're the number one thing. No. Actually, I'm a big Pistons fan, but I think the reason I like them so much is because the first woman I ever had sex with looked exactly like Ben Wallace. No, a bit like Ben Wallace. But it seems like you know a little bit about Ann Arbor. Have you ever heard of the Naked Run? The new bomb? Yeah. Did you run in it? Yeah. Did you? Those that don't know, it's a true thing. It's on the last day classes that UW senior students run naked through campus. I was pleased a few years ago we had two elderly ladies ended up in that area by mistake, and a group of frat boys ran by totally nude. One lady, she had a stroke. The other one, she kept her hands to herself. I have to explain that to the state guy. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And I worked as a dispatcher, but I got in trouble because Comcast called, said the renovation customers wanted the police to come out. So I'm like, all right, we'll be out next Thursday between 10 and 6. They did not. And it's funny, whenever I do a set when I'm off stage, people will ask me if I really have been an officer. Those are just made up gags. They ask that so often, I carry evidence now. Let me ask you this, had I not been an officer in Ann Arbor, would I have these? Bad example, I think this couple does. Well, wrap up with a few more hack police jokes. I remember late at night, actually, I saw this car weaving, and I could smell the alcohol. So I asked the guy, I said, where are you headed? He's like, believe it or not, officer, I'm going to lecture on the evils of alcohol. I'm like, dude, it's 2:30 in the morning. Who's giving this lecture? He's like, oh, my wife. But it was funny when 2021 ended. We did have all those sad passing aways. I mentioned Betty White. And then John Madden. Remember? No, were you like me though when they said John Madden passed away? I was like, he was still alive? We weren't sure. So that got me thinking, you seem like an intelligent guy. I'll test you with this. Make it easy first. Alive or dead? Lizzie Borden's parents.
Yeah, dead.
Yeah, remember getting 40 whacks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do Lindbergh baby. People were like, too soon. All right, alive or dead? Jimmy Carter.
Dead.
Alive. But that is running your check every day. That is subject to change. Even Queen Elizabeth, like that guy's old. All right, last one. Alive or dead? This gentleman's sex life. No comment. I think that's common enough. Oh, ask her. All right, well, let's give him a hand. He needs one. Well, I'll wrap up with my variation of an old street joke. I mentioned about legalizing prostitution, but really, probably the funnest thing I did as an officer is when we did arrest prostitutes, because you got to flirt with them. I remember there was one, she had a really short mini skirt on. She was wearing crotchless panties. She came up to me and said, hey, officer, you want some of this? Because I was professional. I said, no, I do not. She got offended. She's like, why, are you gay or something? I said, no, I just don't want any of that. I mean, look what it did to your panties. Besides, I could see the balls. I think her name was Caitlin. Come on, it's comedy. I'm kidding. I banged her. But before I get out of here, people will confirm that I was a police officer, and when they do, especially at a bar type setting, they always want to know if there's any way to defeat a breathalyzer test. Would you like to know?
Yes.
Well, you gotta be more enthusiastic. You want to know how to defeat a breathalyzer test? Good thing, you can Google this. What they're looking for is what's called the avuncular ear. That's the air deeper in your lungs. That's why they tell you to blow out. Keep blowing out until they tell you to stop. But what's amazing is if you've been drinking and you do not want it to register on the instrument, go ahead and take a deep breath. But then right before you blow out, you know what how quiet you guys are? You're listening like I'm about to tell you? If I knew, would I just be the opening act in New Baltimore on a Saturday night? Tell you what, if I knew, I probably would tell you. It is true. I came from Pakistan. That was when East Pakistan, West Pakistan were having a war. East Pakistan became Bangladesh.
No, they can't.
there is a country that you escape war-torn areas. I know we're in a weird time right now, but this really is the greatest country in the world.